but the output characteristics. So what you can observe here is that the input characteristics is a graph of ID versus VGS, and the output characteristics is a graph of ID versus VDS. So in both the cases, what we will be having on y-axis would be ID. So we would always add the trace for ID, and we will ensure that on X we have VGS in case of input characteristics, and on X in case of output characteristics we would always have VDS. Then we would also want to see like how big are these regions, how big is this linear region, how big is this saturation region, and so on. Because when we our primary focus is like to use this device and build an amplifier. So when we are building an amplifier, we want a bigger saturation and a smaller linear region, so that your Q point stays in the saturation region for most of the times. So that is the objective, and whether this device satisfies that or not, that is what we want to see. And once we see the third device also, that is the MOSFET, we would then try to compare BJT, JFET and MOSFET based on their characteristics. So let's begin. So when it comes to input characteristics, I will just start SPICE. So all of you should open your LT Spice and you say new schematic. And first thing that you should do is you should give a file name to this and say here, this is, and write njfet underscore, you can say input underscore char. So you can give this file name to your schematic file, and you should see that here. So first you all name this, and then we will also name this entire circuit, that is going to be something like this. So let's name this circuit. So I will say common emitter input characteristics. Common emitter input characteristics. So the first thing that we will have to do is we will have to drop components. So the component here is called as NJF. So you can see here, you can type NJF, and you can see here NJFET, and you can also see here that is PJFET, NJFET and PJFET. So like I told you, the arrow for an NJFET is pointing inside and the arrow for a PJFET is pointing outside. So we will first start with NJFET. We will select that here, and then we will add two sources. Let's say I'll add a voltage source. So I'll call it as like V1, and here we will call it as, let's say, V2, and then let's join this using some wires. So you may just join like this, and from this point you specifically put a ground here like this. So many times what happens is students try to put ground like this. So many times there is an error and the circuit does not get the ground. So please have the ground in this way. So once you are done with this circuit, write done in the chat box. Once you are done with this circuit, write done in the chat box. Now characteristics is simple. So what we have done last time, we will be applying the same concept. So what is new in this? what is new is the way in which you are giving the parameters to the JFET. So we used to write dot model NPN is a NPN transistor, and then we used to write beta equal to 100 or something like that. So here in JFET also we have to give IDSS and VP values. We have to give the JFET IDSS and VP. So the way in which we give it is worth noting, because that is slightly different in the case of NJFET. So many students fumble later on how to give values of IDSS and VP. They don't understand and they write some very weird command, dot model NJFET, and then they write IDSS equal to something, VP equal to something, and then it never really works that way. So we should understand what we are doing. So if you are done with this, write done and put your circuit in the chat box. So I want to see, we will do this together. Yes, Jose has written done, but I want all to make this circuit, and in case there is a doubt in how to bring the components and everything, just unmute and ask. Okay, Riddhi has put it in the chat box, fine. Now, this source I will make it as VGG, and this I will name it as VDD. Just for the record, VGG, that is the gate bias, and VDD is nothing but the drain bias. Now, how to identify the terminals of the JFET? So here, gate is simple to identify because the one with the arrow is gate, but which is drain and which is source. So this gate is the gate terminal will be closer to one of these terminals. The terminal which the gate is closer to, that terminal is the source, and this terminal is going to be the drain. So please write like this. See, and here there will be no value as such. So you can right click on this source, go to advanced and press none, and then say OK, then this value will go. Here also we will click on advanced, press none, and then say OK, then this value will also go. So you should be able to see now this circuit in the chat box. Put this circuit in the chat box. So name the terminals, gate, drain and source, and put this in the chat box. So if you like closely look, we have done some problems, okay? And the values that we were giving was somewhat like this. So in the problems that we did, I just want you to show certain things. So we did problems like this. Okay? We did problems like this in which IDSS and VP were already given. IDSS and VP are already given. Now the question arises how to give these values in SPICE. Okay, you knew how to solve this, you followed certain steps, you calculated ID, you calculated VDS, then you calculated the points and so on. But how to make understand SPICE that yes, this is the IDSS and VP that you have to take. So I'll just write here. So NJFET parameters that we want to give now here is, so the NJFET parameters that we want to give here is, let's say IDSS is equal to 7 milliamperes and P equal to minus 4 volts. Vp is nothing but 4 volts. If I want to give something like this to the NJFET, then how do I give it? Okay, Samay, Sayan, okay, the output is okay. Those, that's fine. Makran, okay, that's okay, good. Soham, yes, the output is fine. But Soham, one thing I would like to tell, like don't bend this line like this, okay? Circuit wise it is correct, no problem. Circuit wise it is absolutely correct. And even this drain, can you see this drain?
Yes, sir.
So you should not be able to see this square here. So put this drain and source somewhere on these lines here.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So now everybody should be at this circuit, and what we want to actually apply is this. But you must understand that we have just typed a comment. I mean, we have not really applied anything here. Now, as an engineer, you should think how to give. So if you don't know this for the first time, then how will you actually give the values? So what you can do is you can right click on this JFET and then say pick a new JFET. Okay, I'm just saying pick a new JFET. And let's look at one of the JFET here, that is the first JFET. So you can see here beta. The first value is what? Beta. Then you have RD, RS, lambda, VTO, and whatnot. Okay. And you can just go through the entire line. And one thing you can identify, that there is, just cancel this, there is no IDSS and VP. There is no IDSS and VP. But there was beta. So again I'm right clicking on this. So there was beta, you can see here there was a beta here, and there was a VTO, that is a threshold voltage here. VTO was there, that is a threshold voltage which is similar to the pinch off voltage. So what we can actually do is we can give something like this. So we can give the value of beta, but the question is we have IDSS and VP. So what is the value of beta? So beta, the value of beta is IDSS divided by Vp into Vp, that is Vp square. And can somebody tell me, based on our calculation, 7 milliamperes upon Vp square, that is 16, what is the value? So if you purely calculate like this, 7 divided by 16 is 0.4375, and that is, there is a milliampere, so we will have 0.4375 E minus 3. E minus 3 means 10 raised to minus 3. So this is the value of beta that we are actually planning to give. Okay, that is 0.4375. So just put this in the chat box. Put this in the chat box. I want everybody of you to put this circuit in the chat box. Come on, I'll wait here. You can calculate 7 divided by minus 4 into minus 4 will be plus 16, and 7 divided by 16 would be 0.4375, and since there is a milliampere here, that is 10 raised to minus 3. So you get that. So very easily you can calculate that. Okay, Riddhi is the first one to put it in the chat box. Very good, Riddhi. So this is something new. This is not there in any book. You have to go through the SPICE manuals to understand how this thing has come. Okay, Tanmay Sayan, very good. Tanvi. Yes. Tanvi, just name that V1 to VGG. Tanvi, just name this
Yes, sir.
V1 to VGG. And this drain, now you connect it somewhere here. Don't bring it too close to the pins.
Okay, sir. I'll do that.
See, this is what I am expecting, like Tanmay. I have seen very regularly that Tanmay puts his name, roll number, and name of the college, and then the circuit diagram. This is a very good way of doing it. So everybody should observe this kind of thing. Okay, anyways, so let's go ahead. Now our circuit is ready. We have calculated what to give, but yet we have not given it. Okay, yet we have not given it. So now we will select the .op command, that is, we write a SPICE directive, and in that I will write .model njf. njf means this, the name of this J1 is nothing but njf. So I am saying njf is a njf itself having, now I should give Vp as minus 4, but Vp is not called Vp, it is called as VTO. So VTO is equal to minus 4, you can write it this way, minus 4 volts, space beta is equal to, we have already calculated the value, that is how much, 0.4375, 10 raised to minus 3. We will write this command, okay, like this. Now I want you all to put this circuit in the chat box. Then after doing this, we are ready to do the input characteristics. In the chat box. Okay, Makran, good. Yeah, so I hope you are able to see this command. Okay. So let's say if I write here this njf as Akhil, okay, then I will write here dot model. Instead of njf, I will write here and then say who is Akhil. Akhil is a njfet. So you can do it that way, but I'm just renaming it. You can write it in capital or small, whatever, but you can do it that way. So I'll wait here. I want everybody to do this. Okay. Okay, so I'm good. You can see you have changed the circuit. Good. Okay. Now once we are at this circuit, let's say run. We'll say run. Okay. So as usual, the spice will ask us what you want to run. So we will go to the third option, that is DC sweep. So when we are doing input characteristics, my output voltages are constant. My output voltages are constant. So I will not change my output voltages as such. Okay. So what we can see here is we can put here a DC value of 10 volts fixed. Put a DC value of 10 volts fixed. So we'll fix the voltage here, and then we will sweep the VGG. So here I'll write VGG linear start value. Now what start value will you put here? You will not put here 0. Why? Because your start value is now -4 and you have want to sweep it till 0. So we'll say start value is -4 and go up to 0 and increment in steps of 0.1. So you should be able to see something like this. Now on the x-axis you have VGG, but we want V of G, that is the voltage at the gate. In this case, VGG and V of G is the same, but just for the sake of record, I am putting that voltage at the gate. And you must understand here that here VGS is nothing but VG minus VS, but source is connected to ground. So that is why this VG is enough. So again I'll repeat it. VGS is what? VG minus VS, but source is connected to ground. So VGS is nothing but V of G. So we can write that also, that S is equal to Vg minus, and that is going to be Vs is equal to 0. So here we have V of G minus 0, and that is going to be simply V of G, that is Vg. So VGS is like this. Okay, this is my VGS, and similar thing logic can be applied to VDS as well. So instead of G, you can just replace everything by D. Just mention it that VDS is simply V of D. So if I run this thing now, I will get this. And what on X we have here is V of G. And now on Y, we want ID. So I will say add trace. And here we have ID J1. I will say OK. You should be able to see this line. Now if you want this line to look a little bit thicker, then you can go to waveform and then just simply increase the trace width. So you should be able to see this kind of a line. So are you able to see this? And now the most important point you should see here is that, see, I told you that beta is IDSS upon Vp by Vp. So you listen to me and you did this, but whether you are getting this IDSS as 7 milliampere or not and Vp as -4 or not, that is very, very important. So you can see at the graph at, so this x-axis is VGS. Okay, so this is -4 and here you have IDSS, which you can see here is 7 milliamperes. Okay, so you can very well see this axis, it is in this way. So that means the way in which we have given this is absolutely right. Now you will put the circuit as well as this graph in the chat box.
Sir,
Yes.
is there any way to increase the width of the line in the graph?
Yes, that's what I showed you. So go to tools. First you go to the graph, then you go to tools, then go to control panel, then you go to waveforms. In waveforms you can increase the data trace width. So if you like make it 7, you can see it becomes very dark, right?
Yes.
So 3 is a comfortable value. Of course you can have the width that you want, but it should look nice. I mean, it should not look weird. So that much care you take, that is absolutely fine. Just
Okay, sir.
convert
Thank you.
background to white.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sayan, let me see. Okay, Sayan, you have changed the trace width to 3.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is what you should observe here, Sayan. See, I think this is 0 here. So at 0, what you get here is 7 milliamperes. So that means this output is correct. आउटपुट आया है मतलब करेक्ट है ऐसा नहीं है, यू हैव टू चेक इट whether it's correct or not, and you can check it with the help of these 2-3 points which are fixed on the graph. Okay, Tanmay, output is correct. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Momentarily you might have lost me. Okay, great. So I want you to like show me this thing in the chat box. Many of you have done it. I will wait here for 5 minutes for everybody to get this thing at the output. So have you noted a very important point? You cannot give IDSS directly to a JFET. You have to give it in terms of beta. We are calling it IDSS and VP. All standard books will call it as IDSS and VP. But actually in SPICE it is VTO. Okay, Rohan, good. Okay, Rohan, I've got it. What about others? Please put this in the chat box. Come on, quickly. I want you all to show me this out.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I added the trace of ID J1 and I plotted the quantity Vg on the x axis, but still I'm not getting the graph. So could you please tell me where I'm doing wrong?
You have posted your output in the chat box, but it was correct. 1 minute, let me check, Tanvi.
No, sir, I haven't posted because I'm not getting the graph.
Can you post it? I'll just check it.
Yes, sir.
Others in the meantime. Okay, Tanvi, I think there is a problem with the color of the graph. It is plotting it in white. Did you change the background to from black to something else?
Yes, sir. Actually, previously the background was black and I changed to white because you told us to change the background to white.
You change it again to black.
Okay, sir. Sir, please could you tell me that how to change to black again?
Select this graph, go to tools, color preference, then select the background and make all these quantities 0. I see you are getting, I'll tell you why I'm getting that doubt, because see, your x is proper, it is from -4 to 0, and your current value is from 0 to 7. Can you see here? So your range of,
Yes, sir.
so that means there is a plot here, but it is plotting in white. So white of white will not be visible.
Yes, sir. I will change the color, sir.
So just check that. because you can see here our range is also the same, 0 to 7.7. So there is something, but it's getting plotted in white. Okay, Omkar, good. So now let's plot the output characteristics. So what are the output characteristics? ID versus VDS, and this we have to plot for different values of VGS starting from 0, -1, -2, -3 and finally -4, because if you apply a value of VGS which is greater than the pinch of voltage in the negative direction, then the the JFET will continue to be reverse bias, and there will be no use in applying any. Okay. So first of all, what I will do is, okay, Tanvi, now you got it correct.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, see, this reminded me of one more student in the exam. He also was getting something like this. So I asked that student whether you have got the output or you have not got the output. So he said that I have not got the output. But actually his output was there, but he was plotting with white color on white color. So he was not able to see it. So in a way, the output was invisible. Anyway, but don't try something like this in the exam, and don't tell the external exam that I have got an output which is invisible. And sir has taught us how to make the outputs invisible. Okay, don't do anything funny there. Here it's fine. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so let's shift to the output characteristics. So I'll take this same file and I'll just say save as. So, but before you save this as, you save this file and then you say save as, and here instead of IP you just say OP and just change this to output. Okay, and now I want you to first do these changes, and so I just want you to show me this. That's it. Just put this circuit in the chat box. So we have made the circuit, we have given the parameters, we have only not plotted the output characteristics. So same file, you will file save as njfet underscore op underscore char. Change the name of this from common, don't write here common emitter, sorry, you should write here common source. Okay. In the previous file also we will make that correction. Here we will write common source. We have these two. Common source because source is common to both the input and the outputs. You know, sometimes when you are dealing with many devices, We just have the hangover of the previous devices. Uh, yes, Rohan, just remove that dot DC statement. Just remove this statement.
Okay, sir, I'll remove.
Because the way in which we will apply the dot DC statement will be different as far as output characteristics is concerned. Yes, so has everybody done the changes? Let me check. Tanvi, okay, good. Tanvi, just remove these 10 volts from here.
Yes, sir.
We are going to vary that now, so that is why we cannot have it fixed. I think Jose, you have also done the same thing.
Yes,
So
sir, I made the change.
uh, these are all problems of copy paste. That is why I always say that copying is an art. Not everybody can do it nicely. Okay. So most of you have done this. Pratik, let me check. Pratik, remove that 10. Pratik, remove this 10. Got it? Okay. Now, let's see what we have to do. We have to change VDS and plot ID, and this we have to do for many values of VGS, starting from 0, -1, -2, -3 and -4. So let's try and do that. So now I will write my command dot model. First I'll write vary VDD. Oh, sorry, don't write like this. Cancel this. Now we will press run command. In run we will write go to DC sweep. So the first source that we want to sweep now is VDD. Let's have a linear sweep. Start value is 0, stop value is 10, and this you can do it in steps of 0.1. And the second source is going to be VGG. Again linear, and the start value would be from like -4, and you can go up to 0 in steps of 1. So steps of 1 means -4, -3, will go like that. And then you can just say OK. And then on this x-axis, we want now VDD, that is VDS. So that is nothing but V of D, that is voltage at point D, because source is connected to 0. And here I will add trace and say again ID J1, and you should be able to see this kind of a characteristics. Okay, so what you can observe here is that this pink thing is coming, all this is okay. So green is for VGS equal to -4, blue is for VGS equal to -1, this is -2, -1, and this is 0 like that. But you can see this really weird thing here with the pink graph. It's like shooting up to something, some value, 7 amperes. Now the reason why that's happening is because of the value of VGS, and the VGS value, if it is 0, then the current will become maximum. Okay, so that is why SPICE is showing that as a shoot at 0 volts. So if you want to like plot this properly, then instead of in this command, in this line, instead of writing VGG to -4 to 0, you can write it as 0.1. You can write it at -4 to -0.1. And once you get this, if we simulate this thing again, you can see that now you have got rid of that pink line which was shooting up like this. Okay. You can also make that as small as possible. You can make it as 0.01. So your current comes very close to 7 milliamperes. So you can see this. Now your max current is 7 milliamperes. Now what I'll do is I'll plot the other graph also side by side. So first of all, you show me this graph. Okay, circuit and the graph. I want to check that. Soham and Rohan, make this command here, VGG -4 to -0.01. -0.01 is almost equal to 0, but not equal to 0. If you write 0.1, then like see, you can see in this case, in the case of JOS, so this max current, this pink line should actually be at 7 milliamperes, but it is somewhere below. So if you want to take that to the max value, that is 7 milliamperes, you will get 7 milliamperes exactly at VGS equal to 0. But yeah, I mean, if you put 0, you get that overshoot near 0. So what is the best value of 0? -0.001 is also much better than. So all of you should show me this. Yes, VVD, yes. And you should see that this pink line is at 7 milliamperes. That's the max current is 7 milliamperes. Yes, Pratik, good. Samay has already read my mind. Okay, now let's see how to. So I'm opening this. So I want everybody to plot how Samay has plotted like this. Okay, input and output characteristics side by side. So I'll just open this file, open, and let's see the NJFET input cap, and let's simulate this thing also. But when you simulate here you have to write V of G, and here we'll add trace and write ID J1. Here you can see this is from 0 to 7.7 and this is from 0 to 7 milliamperes. So you can change the tick here. Top you can make it as 7 milliamperes. So now you can see, if you look at both these graphs side by side, okay, and if you extend this like 4.2 on this, so this line should come exactly in front of this line. So VGS equal, you can see that here we'll have 1 volt somewhere here. So this point will exactly come near this point. So that's what we have actually seen here. This 1 volt, if we extend on this axis and if we take it here, it will be for VGS equal to -1. So like that you can compare your own results. And now show me all 4 of them in one graph. And specially change this from 0 to 7, and here also I want to see 0 to 7 milliamperes. Come on, do it. Or what we can do here is we can make 7, it is 7.7 in both the graphs. So here we can make it 7 point. So this is also fine. Okay, Akshay, still very good. So now if you actually print this thing, you will be able to and see things very nice. Any doubts in this? Unmute and ask. I'm waiting here. I'm waiting for your doubts. So unmute and ask. Now, one thing you should observe here, that if you look at this pink line, the linear region is very big. It's of 0.4 volts and saturation region is of 6 volts. But in the case of BJT, so let me just I'm just closing the input characteristics here, and let me just open the, let me see if I have it. NPN common emitter. Let me just run this. What we want here is V of C. Here we want I trace. We should put IC. Now, if you observe this, like if you observe these both these graphs, it's very interesting to see. So what now we are doing is we are actually comparing the two devices. Okay, you can see here. So let me just so if you look at both these graphs here, here you can see that BJT has got a very thin region. So this we were calling it as saturation actually for a BJT, and most of the times we will have a DC load line which is somewhat like this. But if we draw a DC load line here and the Q point is somewhere here, so if you look at this, the possibility that this Q point will come into linear is very high. But whereas here the possibility that this distance of this Q point from this region is very small. So here it's very small and here it's very large. So that's why you can use BJT for large signal amplification. And FETs we generally use for small signal. So if you want to take something in microvolts to a millivolt, so if you want to go from microvolt to millivolt, you can go for a JFET. But if you want to go like from a microvolt to a volt, then you can go for a BJT. So this is a point to be noted. So now somebody suggested that, okay, in JFET the linear region is too big. Can we reduce it? Can we make it small? So the answer is yes. And in the MOSFET we get a smaller linear region. So that is quite possible. So if you like compare these two, you can see that BJT has got a smaller saturation. That is the region where the current is increasing, and the region where the current is increasing in the case of JFET is much bigger. So in a way BJT is better than a JFET, but obviously BJT is a current controlled current device and JFET is a voltage controlled current device. So you need to keep that in mind. So many times in the exam they will like question you what is the difference between which is better, JFET or a BJT. So according to me, my answer would be I don't know. It depends on the application. So if you want to do large signal amplification, you have to go for BJT, and if you want to go for small signal, you can go for JFET. And if you want an IC to do all this, then the first criteria to get inside an IC is to become small. So JFET cannot become small. So who can become small? MOSFET can become small. And that is the reason why we prefer MOSFETs over JFETs in integrated circuit design. So ultimately you will land up in IC design, and that's the reason why you should know this difference, why exactly there came a point where you had to leave the BJT or JFET and move to MOSFET. Of course, we have not left it completely. There are like technologies called as BiCMOS, so which uses BJT as well as a MOSFET. So to understand those concepts better, you should be you should even in your dreams you should be able to imagine these characteristics. And mind it, there will be like lots of around 8 to 9 questions in the GATE exam on this part. By the way, the 2022 GATE admission has started. It's too early for you actually. Third year students can start enrolling. Yes, any doubts in this? Now, you will do for a P channel JFET. You will plot the characteristics for a P channel JFET. Come on, do it. So you can start with the input characteristics. Instead of NJFET, you can write JFET. And first thing that you have to do is rename this thing. Instead of NJFET, you will write PJFET. And obviously you will have to remove this and put a PJFET here. Okay. And more or less the things will be the same. With a small change, you should note here that for PJFET, the threshold voltage VTO is negative only. So this line will change it to PJF. Let's keep all other parameters the same. Now here you can see that we did not get anything. Okay. Now why? The reason for that is because here the VGG Oh no, Rohan, these outputs are very weird. This cannot be the output. So basically, I'm leaving this to you, and you should come up with the different changes. Okay.
Sir, I have posted for the output characteristics.
Rohan, right?
Yes, sir.
No, that is not correct because this output characteristics are not right. It's wrong.
Yes, I understood.
The characteristics should be this way, like this. So now let's go to biasing of the JFET. So let's go to the N JFET self bias kind of a circuit. Okay. Let's do this circuit and see whether we are getting the correct DC operating points or not for this circuit. So what I'll do is we want to do something similar here too. So here I will just keep IDSS as 8 milliamperes and beta I'll just pick up from here. So now it won't be 0.5375. You can just calculate this. And what you will get here is 8 divided by 16, 0.5. here we will have 0.5 E. That's the small change there. So close this. Stop no use. So let's keep this value as 1. Here 1 meg means mega ohms. The value of this resistance is, let's say, 1.2 K. This is 18 volts. This is VDD, and this is RD. This is the source resistance. So let's name it as RS, and this is our gate. And just for convenience sake, we will name all the terminals. This is gate, drain, and source. So I want you all to put this circuit in the chat box. And now what we are looking at is, we are looking at the NJFET self bias. So first prepare this like this. Now how to actually assign the values of here. So what we'll do is we'll write a dot model. NJF is NJF VTO equal to -4 volts, and beta equal to 0.5 minus 3. This is the model statement. So let's first do this much and then we will go ahead. First you put this in the chat box, then we'll go ahead. Okay, Jose, we'll wait for others. Come on, do this. What you can also do is you can pick up a self-bias circuit which I have taught you. Okay, something like this. So in this self-bias circuit, here the parameters which are given are 10, and -8, and here we have 1 megohm and 1 kilohms. So what we'll do is we'll just take those parameters itself. So I'm just changing this IDSS to 10, so we don't have to again solve this. And what was our VP? -8. And then this would be 10 upon 64. 10 divided by 64. 0.15625. 15625. And here also 0.15625. And here instead of 4 I'll put it as 8. We will also change this as per our circuit specification. This is the problem that we have done in the class. So here RD is 3.3, RS is 1K, this is 3.3, this is 1 megohm itself, there is no change in that. And instead of 18 we have 20 volts. Why am I doing this? Because we don't want to again recalculate the whole thing. So we have calculated the value of ID, that is 3.36 milliamperes, and the Q point was at 5.52 and 3.36 milliamperes, and that is something that we want to now check. So as per our calculations, so calculated values of this were something like this. So ID was 3.36 amperes and VDS was equal to how much? 5.52 volts. 5.52. So these are our calculated values. Now let's check whether we are getting this or not. So we'll just say run, and we'll run this dot operating point analysis, and let's check. So here you can see you have ID, that is 3.36. So you can see here this is also 3.36. So ID value is correct, and from this, these three things you should observe. So I'm just copying these three values. So right here, observed values. We have observed drain voltage, gate voltage, and source voltage, and obviously VDS is nothing but of D minus V of S, which is V of D is how much? So V of D is equal to 8.90659 minus V of S is 3.36164. So if you actually subtract this thing, 8.90659 minus 3.36164, that is 5.544 equal to 5.544. So you could see that we are pretty close to what we have calculated. So I want you all to like do this. Okay. These are the commands and put that, keep it nicely over here. And the JFET parameters with this. So put this in the chat box. I want to see this. So I'm giving you 5 minutes to do this. I want everybody to put this in the chat box. So whatever we have simulated in class, whatever we have calculated in class, that is going to be that we are observing here. Okay, Pratik, good. Oh, good. Pratik has done one addition, that is the drain current. Sayan, good. Yeah, so let's do a potential divider bias circuit. And you already know the circuit specifications, which are like this. So what I want you to do is now, through our lab, this is the problem that we have done in the class. So I'm just putting this circuit in the chat box. Okay. So this is the circuit that now we are going to simulate. Are you all able to access the circuit? Please unmute and tell me whether you can see that circuit.
Yes, sir.
The next circuit is potential divider bias circuit. So most of this would be almost similar with the addition of a resistor here. This is R1. PK. This is 2.1 meg. This is 2. And RS is 1.5. IDSS well in this case is 8 milliamperes, and VP is also minus 8. So what would be the value here? So obviously you can do that. 8 divided by 64 is 0.125. So here we'll write 125. In this case also we'll write 125. BTO is minus 8. And what are our calculated values? So first of all, our ID is 3.38. Okay, so this is our ID, and this is our VDS, and hence our Q point is also there. So you can see that is 3.38 and 6.818. This is 3.38 and this is 6.618. Now let's run this thing and find out what is the value. So we got these three new values of VD, this, and here, and accordingly if we just write here 11.79 minus VDS is 5.07561, the difference 11.879 minus 5.07561 6.8033. So very well you can see that the calculated and observed values are pretty close to each other, and like Sayan had done, he had also put the value of ID. So let me put that as well. The value of ID is 3.3, which is correct. So this is our circuit. So please put like this in the chat box. And very well you can also do the self bias circuit, or the fixed bias circuit can also be done in the similar fashion. Now I am putting this image for the fixed bias circuit. Simulate. Okay. Are you able to see the fixed bias circuit? Okay, Pratik, correct, very good. So that's the way you have to do it. So see, very nicely Pratik has done. He has also shown this spice values. So when I'm checking, what I'll do is I'll check this 11.879 whether it is correct or not. And then he has taken a difference and noted down the value of I. So correct, that's the way to do it. Very good. Now I have posted this circuit. Okay. So everybody of you should be able to see this now. So here we are having 16 volts, 8 milliamperes VP, and the calculation is already there. So if you see, our Q point is ID is 3.55. Circuit, and VDS is 8.8. So I'll just save this again and just save as, instead of potential divider bias, now I'll just save it as fixed bias. Just change the name to fixed bias. And what's the change in this circuit? So first of all, this thing will go away. Okay, there is no RS. And here we are having a supply voltage. The bias is fixed as the name suggests. Are this thing with this, I'll take this a bit up and yeah, make some space for this. And this value is 2 volts. And for nothing but VGG. The value of RD here is 2 kilo ohms. And VDD is 16 volts. What is the value of IDSS? 8 milliamperes, correct. VP is -6. Okay. So 8 divided by 36. 0.222. Okay. Change in this line. Now calculated and observed calculated values I have already given you. 3.55. And now if you simulate this thing, you will get certain values. VD, VG. So, okay. I think I removed the source terminal also, so let me just put it back. Source. Vs is 0, so there is no point in looking at that value. So VDS is VD minus Vs. Is going to be 8.88, 8.89599 minus 0, which is equal to 8.8959. The value of current is, let's see that, 0.355 is correct. So this is your fixed bias. So we did 3 circuits. We have done fixed bias, we have done self bias, and we have done potential divider bias. Any doubts in this, please ask. So put this in the chat box. Come on. Fixed bias circuit. Yes, any doubts, please unmute and ask. Soham, any doubt? So we have done actually today like 7 circuits. And we have done NJFET, input output PJFET. You will conceptualize that. It's not a very big thing. And the 3 circuits. So in all we have done 7 circuits. I wish we could do at least 1 or 2 of this physically in the lab. So let me just check out if we can meet in batches or something in college to do 1 or 2 experiments. Because ultimately I want you to also, so this is like the spice thing, okay? But as an engineer, you should also know how to handle the equipments in the lab. So we are having very state of the art equipments like, you know, digital oscilloscopes and these things. So you should know how to actually handle these, and whether you are getting the same thing out of a circuit which is actually made. So that's where you should be able to do that. But unfortunately, this is how we are actually operating. Let's see. I'll wait here for another 5 minutes till everybody posts the output for fixed bias circuit. Okay, so please post all the 3 circuits, fixed bias, self bias and potential divider bias in the chat box. I have seen many have posted potential divider bias, self bias, but not potential divider bias and fixed bias circuits. I'm just waiting for that. I'll just also give you this. Soham, just check whether you have got these 3 files.
Yes, that is in the chat box.
And I'm putting 2 more. So 2 more files I have put of NJFET so that you can conceptualize for PJFET. Yes, Shravani, Avni, Shreya, are you getting this? Okay, Jose has done all 3. Very good, Jose. Jose, but just put the calculations also besides it.
Okay, sir.
So once you look at the circuit, you understand everything. The only thing that you have to do is run it. Yeah, Sayan. So just rename this to, like, this is not fixed bias. This is fixed bias. Correct. Sayan, have you also done potential divider bias?
Yes,
Yeah,
I posted.
see that. Yeah, okay, I could see that. So just one more request, that put even the current values in the circuit. Okay. So it's almost 3 o'clock, and if there are no questions, just a minute. Let me take your attendance. Okay, I have